folks, and welcome to a new day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got a great show for you. We're going to talk about Jamaica and the big hurricane that hit there. We were going to have a special guest tonight, but apparently he couldn't make it. So I guess I'm all by myself. And so we'll do what we can, and we'll just get right into it because I got nobody to banter with, and my stuff is looking weird here. I don't know why. So anyway, there we go. So that, oh crap, the curtain's coming down. I mean, everything's falling apart tonight. I guess I'm just winging it. So what are we going to start with? Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back. And tonight's show isn't just about another broadcast. It's a window into the disaster, the survival, and the straight up human resilience. Right now, the people of Jamaica are living in the aftermath of one of the most powerful hurricanes the island has ever seen. Homes torn open like paper, roads swallowed up by mud and water, power lines hanging like loose threads, and families, entire communities forced to start over from nothing. This isn't something happening far away on a screen. This is real. And tonight we're talking to a man who lived there, but he's not here. So we're just gonna wing it after that. We were gonna go and find out about his thoughts on all of this, but apparently, he didn't want to come on and give any of them. So we're just gonna talk about what really happened during the hurricane, the destruction. No news cameras could fully capture the voices of people living through it now. And the big question is what happens next, and how does the island rebuild from this? And just like we've talked about other hurricanes and fires and, Lahaina thing that was happening in Hawaii area, because hurricanes just don't destroy buildings. They expose how fragile we all are. It's powerful, the strength to keep going afterwards, to keep help each other, to have a truth, about all of this. So, just stay in your seats and relax, and we'll get right down to it. And let's give, a thought about this. It could happen in your neighborhood. This isn't just a weather event. It's a, test of courage for these people. Anyway, we're going to be talking about that. And what do we know? Oh, there's Nina's in the house. Oh, I don't see you. Did I send you the wrong link? I don't know. Man, nothing is going right tonight. Anyway, yeah, so we're just going to continue on and wing it from here. Nice. I don't know what happened at that. Well, we'll just do it this way. Anyway, Lahaina's got a lot of stuff. Or I mean, not Lahaina, but Jamaica's got a lot of stuff going on. And oh, there she is. Oh, okay. There you are. Are you there?
Hey.
Oh, okay. My guest didn't show up, and my co-host tonight is Nina the Mystic. Thank you.
Oh no, I literally just walked in the door, so I'm here. Yeah, that's too bad.
I was gonna have Gary on for a guest, but somehow he just faded away, and that was the end of it for me.
It's a lot of people like that. It's all fun and games to be a guest on a show until the time comes, and then they like, ooh, you mean I'm gonna be on YouTube? Ooh, So,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say bad things about it, but it's just I was all excited, and and then all of a sudden it just went downhill from there. So, yeah. Anyway,
oh, that's too bad. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know a whole lot about Jamaica, but obviously we all heard about the, whatever happened. What is it? What was it? A cyclone or what
hurricane.
was it?
Hurricane.
Hurricane.
So we're going to get into You know, all this stuff with the hurricane deal right now. Well, if you don't know anything about Jamaica, you're going to learn it tonight.
Well, there you go. But you have to have the accent, though. You got to have the accent.
I know. The guy was going to be here. He had quite the accent, and so I was all hunky dory on that, and then that didn't happen. So,
well, who knows? Maybe something happened to his internet or something down there. Like, you know what I mean? If he's in Jamaica, I mean.
No, he's from here, but he has relatives and stuff in Jamaica, and you know he was calling them on the phone the other day, and you know, and I says, oh yeah, you know, and he says, you know, you know, blah blah blah, and then he could tell me all about it. And I says, well, why don't you hold that thought? Why don't you come on the show and we'll have a show on it? And so he says, yeah, I'd do that. Well, and I don't know what happened. You know, things happen.
Yeah, who knows? Sometimes things do happen, right? So
yeah,
just given the benefit of the doubt, you know.
Yes, absolutely. Anyway, so we're gonna go on. Sunset Dreamers in the house. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's kind of an empty house. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, where is everybody?
Oh yeah, I know.
Make sure Sunset, make sure you share this out so that people know that we're going live. I guess I should do the same thing myself right now.
So as we go on, we're going to talk about all these things. What kinds? Let's see. Where is my notes here? Notes. Let's see. Well, what happened? That's where we're going to start. What happened? A hurricane, Hurricane Melissa, exploded into a Category 5 storm. Now, that doesn't happen very much. As it approached Jamaica, it made landfall in Jamaica near the town of New Hope in Westmoreland Parish with sustained winds up to 185 miles an hour. I know most of you can't understand what 185 mile an hour wind is, but that's like being in the middle of a tornado, you know, and then some. An extremely low pressure, making it potentially the strongest storm to strike Jamaica in recorded history. Wow. It had massive rainfall, was projected, and some models predicted up to 1 meter, 40 inches in parts of the island, along with life-threatening storm surges and landslides. Many areas were under evacuation orders, and over 800 shelters were open across the island before the storm hit. And as you can see from this picture, it got pretty bad. You know, buildings and stuff. You got to remember, they're not building there like we build here in the north because of the fact that, you know, they got warm tropical weather. You know, and as you can see, this is devastating. But let's look at the path of this hurricane, and as you can see, you got to put you can see it started down here and it just worked its way north up through Bermuda and then east. So it went up, but it never actually hit the coastline here. I'm sure they had some expected stuff, but it hit Cuba a little bit, and as it got into the Bahamas, so Cuba got some of it. You know, there was, but as the wind, or maybe it was coming down this way. Actually, it was going this way, I guess. See, and you can see the miles per hour, 90, 105, 150. It was just picking up speed. And Thursday night, Thursday morning, Wednesday. Oh, maybe it was going this way. But anyway, as you can see, it was going. It had a trajectory. Okay, so let's get on the impacts. Large parts of western and southwestern Jamaica, particularly parishes like St. Elizabeth Parish, were described as underwater after the storm. The infrastructure was severely damaged, roads blocked by fallen trees, sand and mud. Hospitals reported power failures and structural damages. Many homes lost roofs or walls. I can imagine with, 100-mile-an-hour winds. Power outages were massive, hundreds of thousands of customers without electricity, In some reports, over 500,000 people were cut off from power, and communication was down remote or rural areas, making assessment and rescue under even harder. And there were deaths associated with the storm as well. Through full figures are still uncertain given the disruption. Why was this one so especially serious? Do you have any ideas why this was serious?
Why?
Yeah, why was this one so serious?
You want like the version that they're giving you, or do you want the version that I think?
What do you think?
Well, I think this is man-made, to be honest with you.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Now let's see what they say. Jamaica is vulnerable by geography, mountainous interior, coastlines, rural access issues. When a major hurricane hits, damage is amplified. Melissa intensity was unlike many storms, rapid intensification and high wind speeds, massive rainfall and surges combined. That combo is the worst scenario. Of course, the tourism and agricultural sectors, which Jamaica depends on heavily, because what else do they got? There'll be large disruptions. And of course, we all know that Jamaica is like a tourist town. When hotels close, crops fail, jobs go, the ripple effect extends far beyond the immediate damages. Recovery is going to take time, and many communities may be isolated for weeks. For example, emergency teams reported they had to cut their way in on foot to some parishes. Okay, so Nina, you're a conspiracy theorist. Tell me what you think.
Well, like I've told people before, if your city is lauded to be the new smart city, look out. Right?
Oh yeah, well you hit the nail on the button here, and we're going to talk a little bit about that too, because here we go. What do we know? The government of Jamaica has publicly committed to creating its first smart city, according to commentary. Last year, the government of Jamaica committed to establishing the country's first smart city, with business district of New Kingston as the pioneer city. A support grant from the United States Trade and Development Agency was awarded to the utility Jamaica Public Service Company for technical assistance to transform New Kingston into a smart city area. Isn't it interesting that they got a grant from the United States Trade and Development Agency, and yet, people here are suffering. They can't even get food stamps. But they're giving money to upgrade, and then, just in the nick of time to have this hurricane hit, right?
Yeah. It's happened too many times now. And it's like, do they not realize that we're paying attention here, that we can see what they're doing? It's getting a little ridiculous, And so I've been warning everybody, if your city that you're living in is lauded for to be a smart city, look out. I would get out of there, because they're going to do something, some natural, and I got quotation marks in the air here. Some kind of natural disaster is going to wipe it out.
Yeah.
It's just a lot easier for them to rebuild than rebuild it from scratch, rather than trying to build that city on top of what's already there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, we saw that in LA, we've seen it in Mexico. I've seen it here locally to me. Kelowna?
Yeah.
Burnt down. Most of Kelowna got burnt down. So whether it's a fire or whatever it is that we more likely to happen in your neck of the woods is going to happen. They have the weather modification tools to do all of these things nowadays, and it's their go-to playbook from the looks of it.
Absolutely.
And here it is again, and these poor people, like you said, they don't have the support system and stuff that we have over here. They're already suffering with famine and everything else. So it's going to hit these guys a lot harder. And the
So
rest of it.
this all, oh, but they're gonna live in a smart city because in September of 2023, a project in New Kingston was described as being on the verge of becoming reality. Well, because these things take a while to roll out and be planned, and it's extended through 2033. Huh. This
I
is
was going to
part.
say they allotted it all for 2020 or 2030, but I guess that's cutting it too close now. I mean, it's going to take them.
Oh, no,
No?
you are still right. The initiative is part of a broad development framework under Jamaica's National Strategic Plan called Vision 2030 Jamaica. You
Yep.
can't make this stuff up, which
You can't make it
emphasizes technological and enablement and smart growth. Oh my gosh.
I
See?
know it's ridiculous. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody must be seeing this as well. This can't just be you and I that noticing these things. I mean,
Well, apparently not enough people are noticing. So
that's the unfortunate thing that nobody says anything. You
yeah.
know, so it just keeps happening and happening, and they just get away with it. Yeah.
That's right. Well, let's see. What does it describe here? It says, Jamaica. Well, that's pretty much it. It's going to be a smart city. And let's see. Get back to my notes. Come on. Why is all my notes stop right there? Okay. Why does all this matter? And what major damages in homes are destroyed and severely affected support? Just there's access issues, roads are blocked, services are down, and families remain isolated. There's debris to clear, mainly basically once the houses look like this. Here, we'll go for this. When they look like this, what do? They just tear them down, right?
Yep.
Okay, then of course what happens? The aid comes in. There's an economic ripple of aid for repairing homes means local jobs, and restoring power means businesses can open and cash remains. Aid means families can buy from local shops and keep communities alive. But well, that's the thing. There's going to be a major growth here. You turn this place into a smart city, and you're going to be tearing all this stuff down because it's all decrepit. There's no power, and the people are poor. They got no money, right? There's no tourists going to be coming in now, because what kind of tourist is going to come to this town? You see the picture,
No.
right?
No.
Are you going to come to this town and want to stay there if it's been devastated like that? Hell no.
It's kind of like Maui.
Yeah.
They took up prime real estate, and again, it's not going to be any tourism or nothing there. But the weird thing about Maui, though, is the way they just boarded it up. Remember that, the black fencing they put around so nobody could see what was going on?
Yep. Yeah,
I'd be curious
exactly.
to see if they do anything like that down here. Now, these people aren't homeowners then, are they?
Well, yeah, they're
Some of
not
them probably are.
homeowners. They're probably a lot of poor people there, because unless you got tourist trade, like I said, you got farming and tourist trade. That is your big things going on.
So none of that's going to be happening for a while. So I sure hope that they are going to be taking care of the people. But I know in Maui, most people there owned the homes there that they have now taken away. I don't even know what's happening there. We haven't really done a follow-up on that to see, did the people get either paid out really well or what happened there? If anybody knows, comment down below, guys. A little follow-up on the Maui thing.
And you're so right, because once the big hype of that was gone, then it kind of all went away. It's like, oh, you get all tired of talking about it, and then everybody forgets. So just like California there with the fire there.
The fires. Yes.
Yeah, there was the big blah blah blah, and the 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, a month, 6 months, and then you've never heard about it again. They made it disappear.
Yeah. And that's all done by intentionally. Because our attention span isn't very long. So if we don't see it post it up anywhere on social media, we forget all about it.
That's right.
So
You will just forget about it and move on to the next storm, like the Jamaica storm. And if it ain't the Jamaica storm, well, guess what? It's going to be a different storm. And then it's going to be, and it just keeps going on and on and on. Because,
yeah,
right now it's this one. They're all recovering, seeing who died and, and things like that. It gets quite erratic, So how many people did die? I got it here somewhere. Um, but there was a lot of people injured. Um, let's see, there was emergency supplies they had, medications, and that's all that stuff. Let's see what else here. I'm trying to find the spot where how many people died. Um, oh yeah, it says the government of Jamaica has officially confirmed at least 19 people dead in Jamaica. For the wider Caribbean region, overall confirmed death toll is 44 to 50 people, which I guess it's a lot lower than I would expect. I would expect
yeah.
hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
But this includes Jamaica, Tahiti, and other islands. And so, so there's a lot. The number could rise. It says many rural and mountainous areas are still inaccessible. So full accounting is not yet complete. So there you go. It's evacuations were massive. At least they evacuated everybody beforehand.
Oh, there you
And
go.
reports indicate 735,000 people were moved into shelters. I wonder how many little children disappeared in school buses then too. I mean,
Right.
really, I hate just like the Lahaina one. All the kids got in school buses, and you never see the school buses or the kids again.
No, I know. It makes you wonder. Yeah, when the government says they're here to help you, run. Yeah, who knows? They could have shipped off people very easily, and nobody would even know. So, but at least the good news there is that they did have a warning. They did warn them, and they did evacuate. In Acapulco, they didn't. There was no warning at all. It just came right in the middle of nowhere, middle of the night.
Yeah.
So there was a lot more devastation, I think, because of that. So at least they got a heads up and they got out of there. The death toll is, if that's true, isn't too bad considering, I guess. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can see by this picture. I mean, it literally went right over the top of the island. I mean, right here. Draw a picture on there. I don't know if I can. But anyway, it is I can't do that. Anyway, so it came right over the top of them. Just it was on it didn't hit it, it hit a little bit of Cuba and just kept right on going.
Yeah, whatever cities, it's going to get rebuilt. So that's why if you guys are in a place like that, I would get out before something like this happens.
Either that or be really well prepared because, especially if you live in the, southern United States, I imagine like New Orleans is going to be a smart city or something because that's one of those bigger ones. But, cities that flood, cities that may be in a disaster burn down zone, if your city all of a sudden gets really dry, or really wet. I mean, I guess you got to weigh all the possibilities, don't you?
Yeah, whatever it is that, naturally would occur, they're going to amplify that.
Yes.
So they take whatever nature has and just amplify it. So if that, in your area that's lauded for a smart city normally has whatever, whether there's wildfires or hurricanes or whatever it is that normally, be prepared for that to be, tenfold.
Yep.
Coming. So
yeah. There's a lot to think about it that way. Like I said, this hurricane came down, and you can see the timeline here. as it hit the islands and stuff. So I mean, it just clipped that part. But I mean, the whole thing is huge. Hurricanes are huge. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know much about hurricanes actually. For the most part. I just know that they're really devastating. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you got a lot of ocean here, and a
Yeah.
hurricane could come out here in the ocean and
Mm-hmm.
literally, mass out here and then disappear, and nobody really even knows it.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Let's
Unless the
see.
government pushes it inland, but we won't talk about that. But yeah,
Um. Um. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, can they direct these things? We've
yeah,
been
they
told
can.
no. They
Yes,
can and they can't, and
they
you
can.
know.
They have weather modifications. They had that way back in the 50s. And when
Yeah.
it was first made, it was meant to be used for good. Bring clouds over droughts and let's, feed the people. And that's the thing. We've had this thing for all this time, and yet Africa is still dry. They're still, you know what I mean? Like they haven't done anything good with any of that stuff. You got
Well, and
corrupted
that, and
immediately.
that's the thing. They will do it when they need to do it, when it
Yeah.
benefits somebody
Then,
else.
yeah. Yeah. Feeding the
For
people,
money
that doesn't
purposes.
benefit anybody, I guess.
Exactly. If
Yeah.
they wanted to move tens of thousands of people into Africa and start growing crops in the Sahara Desert, the Sahara Desert would get rain every week.
Right. Yeah, there would be no droughts. There would be no, any of these problems that we have around the globe, could be gone if they had to just use that technology for good.
That's
And
true.
so, no wonder that the ETs aren't coming down here to give us any more technology.
Yep.
The little bit that we got back in the 40s has all been corrupted. All of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every single
Because
thing of it.
humans use technology first for warfare and then second for the people. And that's kind of how it goes. Okay, so I pulled up what a hurricane is. So we're going to describe what a hurricane is. Hurricane is a tropical cyclone, which is rotating storm system that forms over warm tropical oceans. It has a low pressure center and produces intense storms, heavy rain, and extremely high winds. When sustained winds reach 74 miles per hour or higher, the storm earns the name hurricane. In the Atlantic and Eastern Pacific, in the Western Pacific, the same storm type is called a typhoon. And in the Indian Ocean, it is often called a cyclone. So a cyclone, a typhoon is still a hurricane. So don't get those confused. They're all the same thing, just different name.
Just different
How do
strengths, I
hurricanes
guess.
form? What?
Different strengths, I guess, is how you would
No,
classify
just
it,
different areas. Different areas. In the Western
Oh,
Pacific, it's called a typhoon. So in the
oh,
right,
okay.
it's kind of in the right area. You got to call it the right name. So that's kind of
Right.
weird.
Okay.
There, Lucky Stone is in the house. Africa didn't have wars. It could, yeah. Africa didn't have wars. It could feed its people. That's right.
Well,
Um,
that's true too. They have their own corruption and everything else, but what if we just all just got along? You know?
yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Uh, Now, how do hurricanes form? Can they? Well, we're gonna find out how they form, and do we have technology to do that? Warm ocean water, at least 80 degrees, fuels a storm like gasoline in an engine. Moist rising air creates towering clouds and rain bands. Rapid cooling and altitude allows storm clouds to grow, and low wind shear so the storm can stay organized instead of being ripped apart by changing winds, speeds, and directions. And once a small area of rotating thunderstorm forms over warm water and continues to feed the heat and moisture, it can intensify into a hurricane over several days. Well,
Uh-oh. Robert went silent. Am I going to be hosting here by myself? Looks like Robert's having some internet issues, and I don't have anything pulled up here from the Caribbean Sea. So if you guys have any questions or anything, put them in there. There you are. Thank God.
I know. I hate when that happens. Anyway, yeah. It says Haiti farmers are allowed to grow food without restrictions. They would feed the whole Caribbean. Yep. Lucky's probably right. Well, our farmers in the United States, if we just let the farmers farm, we could grow more food to feed the whole world, really. Yeah. But we don't do that. We put restrictions, and right now we're trying to get rid of the beef industry so we can buy beef from Argentina. Ain't that nice?
I saw that. They're giving the cows something for the gas, and that's killing off the cows, I've heard. Yeah, they're dying because of it.
Yeah, you don't want your cows to fart, so give them stuff so they don't fart, because cows are supposed to fart. But they're somehow wrecking the atmosphere by farting.
Well, even Trump came out and said that the whole climate change is the biggest hoax we've ever had.
Yeah.
To date. He came out and said that, and that's part of it. The whole methane. We've had cows for thousands, maybe millions of years.
Yeah.
Okay. It's never been a problem before.
Well, that's the thing. There was 60 million buffalo out on the prairie in the plains area, 60 million, and we didn't see any climate change from them.
No,
and they fart too.
And if we go along with that, the next thing is going to be that we're farting too much. You know what I mean? It's a slippery slope here, people. Like, we got to stand up for, what we believe in, and not go along with this nonsense. Never mind the culling of the ostriches that they just did.
Yeah.
I'm so upset over that. I can't even watch anybody talking about it. I can't even hear about it. I can't believe it. That's happening.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people haven't heard about it. I heard about it yesterday too. Why don't you tell people a little bit about the ostriches?
So there's an ostrich farm here locally to me, 400 ostriches. Now, they have already proven that they have herd immunity, because it's the whole avian flu. That's big in the news again. I've noticed that they're talking about chicken farms now. Next, they're going to go after the chicken farms around here. But yeah, so I guess one got tested positive. You know how it is. It's kind of like the whole COVID testing. You can be tested and not be sick. So that's what's happening. I guess one was, whatever. And they developed a herd immunity. All the birds were perfectly healthy. There was nothing wrong with them. They had beaten this whole thing, whatever flu that may have come in and maybe took one out. I don't know. But they were completely fine. But yet, the government decided, no, we're going to take out the whole herd, 400 of them. And just the way they did it, in the middle of the night, using wood chippers, really? Like, it's just so disgusting, the whole thing. I can't even watch shows about it because it just makes me so upset. And I can see in my local news already now, they're talking, they're saying, oh, this farm and that farms everywhere. Oh, we got positive chickens, So that's the next thing now. They're going to take out all our chickens, which means that our eggs will also be gone then. So, and now they're talking cows as well. So they're wiping out the whole food, like the meat industry, basically.
Yeah.
We're going to have no protein now.
You won't become a vegetarian. You will have to become a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Because you won't be able to afford a steak anymore, because the steak will have to be raised by a cow in a sterile environment, in a building underground somewhere.
Don't worry about it, because Bill Gates, he's got a new lab now. We make lab meat now. That's what you're going to be eating.
And see, that's the thing too, is they're making that lab meat, and they're having a real hard time selling because it doesn't taste good. Nobody wants to buy it.
It's disgusting. Apparently, it's made out of human cancer cells or something like that. Like something disgusting like that. Yeah, who wants to eat that?
Nobody.
I would rather die of starvation than to eat that. I can tell you that right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of those things is is when things like that happen, and then you got to wonder about those guys who are participating in all of this, like all those guys getting rid of the ostriches. They didn't have any sympathy, like, oh, we got to get rid of them.
Oh,
We're
no.
in, eventually
Yeah.
what? They're going to come to your house too, buddy.
Yeah, they are. And the next thing you know, I wouldn't be surprised that the pets will be a target as well. So, you can sit there and laugh at this, but, no, this is not going in the right direction. It's not going to be good for humanity in general. So, they have their own farms. Did you know that Bill Gates owns most of the farmland in America already?
Well, he owns a lot of it anyway.
A lot of it. Well, maybe not all of it, obviously, but a lot of it. And he did that on purpose way back before we knew about any of this, right? And so the rich people, they're sitting there eating their steaks and their organic meats and all whatever they want, right? It's just the rest of us here that is going to be forced to eat lab grown and whatever artificial crickets. They were trying to convince us that bugs are good now, when it's actually proven that bugs are actually not good for human consumption. Don't you think we would have already been eating that if it was? It's actually not good for us at all. And so, yeah, anyways, don't get me going on this stuff.
Anyway, we're going to get back to the hurricane stuff. But I typed in, I had to Google, see how much land Bill Gates owns. I'll find out in a second when it comes up. But let's talk about hurricanes. And, they said this was a Category 5. What is a Category 5 hurricane? A Category 5, Category 1. Let's start there. 1 has winds 74 to 95 miles an hour, which I think is pretty. And there's some damage. 2 is 96 to 110. That's intensive. 3 is 111 to 129 mile an hour winds. Then that's devastating because, how many houses stay up when it's that windy? 4, Category 4 is 130 to 156 miles an hour, and that's catastrophic. And a Category 5 is 157 miles an hour plus, and that's catastrophic, total destruction possible. And then the Hurricane Melissa was a Category 5. Wow. How about that? Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Will my house stand up in that? Yeah. Lucky says Bill Gates owns 242,000 to 269,000 acres of farmland in the United States. Bill Gates says he owns 1 out of every 4,000 acres in the United States. Wow.
That's a lot of land.
Yeah. I looked
one guy. And now what about all these other guys, all the other players? How much land do they own? That's just one guy.
Yeah. Well, and then there are other guys who in other countries. Forget about other countries China. Bunches of land. It says here.
Canada, they pretty much own all of Canada. China does.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They said his holdings are large tracts like Louisiana, Arkansas, Nebraska, and Arizona. So if you live in one of those states, you probably are living next to one of Bill Gates' big giant farmlands.
Yeah, and that's probably this. I wonder if that's the same farms that are using the GMO.
It could be.
And then weren't they suing the other farms because the GMO seeds somehow ended up on their land? So now there was something rather like that. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, and that's true. It says Lucky says Bill Gates is the largest private farmland owner in the United States.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. Crazy.
Private.
Wow. And anyway, what were you saying here just a second ago? And I kind of lost the track of that thought. Sorry.
I don't know. I'm sorry. We get on tangents when you start talking about this stuff, because it all relates. Because now it's Africa that's going through it. Now they're getting taken out their land and going to be changed into something that I'm sure they have no idea of what's coming. What this is going to be like. And of course, at the same time, we have the digital ID. It's also coming in everywhere. So, did you hear about Thailand when they put it in there?
No.
It was 86 million or thousands, I can't remember, bank accounts were closed because they weren't verified now then, because they hadn't changed over to the new digital. So be heads up on that. Once it comes in and you're like, yeah, I'm not going in and doing anything. Yeah, well, guess what? Your bank account will be closed. Your assets will be taken, whatever. You know what I mean? They're going to get it one way or another. So, yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah. So you were talking about Africa. It says the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, there are major agricultural investments in Africa, research, seeds, technologies, and smallholder support. Wow.
Yeah. I'm sure they did. I'm sure they bought a lot of land there, because I hear Africa actually it's going to be the most viable land in the future. Once all the land changes have changed, like I watch a lot of weird stuff, but yeah, Africa is going to fare well, is what I've seen. So I'm not surprised that they have bought up a lot of that land down there. That's where it's going to be at, like way past our time, but down the road. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I know. Ain't it crazy? Oh, what we got to look forward to. If a big hurricane don't hit us, and the next one will, they'll burn us out. They'll do something. Who knows?
They'll get the land one way or another. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yep, that is true. Let's see. So, where do we go from here? Okay. Let's see. What time is it? 9:47. There ain't a whole lot more I can tell you about the hurricane. I mean, really, that's why I had the guest coming on, because I was going to try to get his insight, and we could ask him questions about, what was going on there, and how were people on the ground really reacting. But well, have to just skip that. But we got something better going on. So I'm going to get rid of this. And
well, one can only imagine of what the people are going through. I mean, they don't have that much to begin with. And so, mind you, maybe that will actually make them fare better, because they're not as reliant on modern stuff too. If they are used to going without power, or, they know how to, they're probably better at knowing how to take care of themselves without the power than we are.
That's true. Absolutely. So, absolutely. And that's the thing too. They live on an island, and when you live on an island, it ain't like they're growing more land. And the poor people living there could be bought out by, and then my next question would be, who runs Jamaica? Are they a property of the United States, or are they a property of who owns them?
Well, Africa is their own country, so they got their own prime minister, they got their own, everything. But yeah, there's a lot of corruption down there. It's kind of like the mafia and everything on steroids. I mean, and we're after the white people. There's that's why we got a lot of immigrants from South Africa, because they had to flee. They were being killed over there. And Musk is one of them. He was born there, but he had to leave because of that. Yeah. Bet you he owns a lot of land down there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Who controls Jamaica? How government works there? Let's see. Jamaica is constitutional monarchy, primarily democracy, following the British-style model. The monarch, currently King Charles III, is head of state, represented locally by Governor General. The real governing authority lies with the Prime Minister and the Cabinet, who are accountable by Parliament. So that tells me they're kind of current Prime Minister of Jamaica is Andrew Holness, who leads the governing party, the Jamaica Labour Party. The Governor General acts like the King's representative and fulfills large ceremonial duties. The two main political parties are the Jamaican Labour Party and the People's National Party. Elections determine which party controls the government. So that's kind of a little bit in there. But so if this is kind of set up like England, or maybe under the King of England, why was the United States funding developments? See, that's what I don't get. Why doesn't England fund these developments?
Right. I don't know. Yeah, the English, they own quite a bit. They're the ones that rules where I'm at. I'm in British Columbia. It's under British law.
Yeah, but that would be
So
the same. That would be the same thing. You're under British
yeah,
law, and then the United States comes in and funds all your roads and
yeah.
puts
So
up
that's the
your
same
telephone lines
here.
or something.
Yeah, like I've never heard of England coming to bail us out in anything. I don't even know what good he is. Like, what does he do really over here? Because
Yeah,
no, you're right. We would probably be asking the states for help, or like I've never heard of him shelling out any cash.
yeah. Well, you're
So
exactly right. That's the whole point. If it's set up, like that, then how come, we're over there? Like it says in the thing, it says we were, the department of such and such was funding this, and I can't find it now, I'm sure, but the point is the points back to the United States for the smart city. That's what it was.
mhm.
Yeah, all these upgrades were going to happen because of United States funding, which makes no sense. I mean, I understand they may not have, um, money, but he says here, oh, I think I found it. A support grant from the United States Trade and Development Agency was awarded to the utility Jamaica Public Service Company for technical assistance to transform New Kingston into a smart city area. Huh. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know
Mhm.
what to think of that. I
Yeah.
don't really know.
I guess, considering that they're wanting to have a one world currency and whatnot, does it really matter where the money comes from at this point?
Well, who's that it just tells you who's running this. I mean, are we the people that want to make the one world government, or is it somebody
No,
else? But
obviously
apparently,
not. It's the people who
apparently,
have the money, the people who are printing the money, the people who created the Federal Reserve, the people that created everything that we know,
yeah,
have a plan, and that's part of it. One world government, one world religion, one world currency, and so it's almost like, well, who cares where the money comes from at this point? We're all just going to be one soon, anyways.
yeah,
Like, this is how I would be thinking if I was them. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter if it's U.S. or England or whatever. We're all just one big happy family, anyways, right?
yeah.
Eventually, I would assume. Now, I don't know who's exactly going to be the leader, because that would be
And,
fun for them to duke it out. But
and of course, they have a agenda 2030 themselves,
yeah,
which
they
is
all
kind
do.
of ironic, you know.
They all do. They're all waiting for this plan, where we own nothing, but we'll be happy.
Yeah, yeah. They're all
I'm seeing that here now. I was always wondering, like, because I know they're going to take over all our real estate and everything, but how are they going to do it? Well, Canada has figured out a very, very sneaky way to do it. They're giving the land back to the Indians. So
Yeah,
even though you bought that house, you may have even inherited that house from your parents, and maybe you lived there many generations. Don't matter now, because the Indians own it. You're gonna have to deal with them. So you don't own the house anymore. Now you're gonna be renting it from them. So there you go. And I'm like, oh, I see that all over the place here now. It's happening one after another place. And I was just talking to my son tonight about this. He's seeing it. And it's like, yeah, I was wondering how they were going to do it, and that's how they're going to do it. So if that's happening here in Canada, expect that, next door as well. Then I would think.
and that's a heck of a good idea, because there's not many Indians, and if you give all the houses to the Indians, well,
Oh no,
they're
the Indians won't take the house. They just own the land that you're on. So
yeah.
you no
Well,
longer own the
that's what
land.
I'm saying is
Yeah.
they own the land, and if they own all the land, there's only a few Indians. It is
Yeah,
like
you're a
saying Bill Gates
renter.
is gonna,
They're
Yes.
basically getting
You
a
know,
whole pile of renters, guaranteed income for the rest of their days. Like it's kind of
yeah,
like a payback in a sense, I guess. If I was, and I actually am part of Native. Not that you could tell, but I am. But not that I'm, holding on to that or anything. But yeah, it's kind of like a bit of a payment there, back pay. You know what I mean? Now all of a
yeah,
sudden they get their land back, and now us whiteys who came over here and took it have to pay rent, which it should have been in the first place, I guess, if
yeah,
we're gonna go there, But so even so, it really is gonna really hurt the people who, our age, really, people who
yeah,
are just about to retire, or maybe they just did retire. You're mortgage free finally, right now.
yeah,
And all of a sudden get told, oh no, sorry, you don't own that house. You got to continue paying X amount of money every month now.
yeah,
And as a retired person around here, you can't afford rent.
yeah,
Rent's not in the budget. You know what I mean? So, yeah, this is going to be major problems, and this is going to be part of the whole rioting, and and they're doing it all on purpose to get us all, riled up. There's going to be a lot more racism now. You thought we were racist before, or you just wait now, like so. Yeah, and even my friend, my son's coworkers are immigrants. And they're like, yeah, I know, shit. If this happens, I'm moving back home. They're all wanting to move back home now because all of a sudden the land of milk and honey isn't so sweet anymore,
yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, if you can't own a house and you just go to work and pay rent the rest of your life,
yeah,
you're really that. What dream is there?
there is
I,
no, the American dream is gone.
yeah,
It's gone already. It's not that it's going to go. It's already gone,
and it's
unfortunately.
going.
So
Yeah, like,
people aren't seeing it. And I can't say I blame you. Like I almost wish sometimes that I was completely asleep myself and had no idea what was going on. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because you probably sleep a lot better at night. You know what I mean? Yeah. What a
Well,
world that we're leaving to our kids. Like,
oh, I know it's crazy, isn't it?
oh, it's
But
yeah.
anyway, for our last little bit, we got an unboxing tonight. Look at what I
Oh,
got in the mail.
mm.
Oh, what could it be in the box?
I am guessing. Oh yeah, gotta love the Streamlabs. You
Yeah,
gotta get you some.
got something cool, everybody. Oh, I'm gonna angle this a little bit more. Yeah, you can see what I'm doing. I got this cool box. Look at it. Even says Fragile on it. Fragile.
Frigidly. It's a mug. I just got mine too. I got a mug here.
Oh boy, look
love
at
it.
that. Look at this. Oh, hot diggity dog. Woo.
You
Look at
need
everybody.
scissors, big time. Yeah, they wrap that up real good,
Yes,
which is
they do.
good
So
because you don't have to worry about it coming broken. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Um, so we're just opening this up and look what I got. Nice mug here, Robert and David with the Native American myths and legends. It's kind of a nice tall one. I like
It's a 15 ouncer now. Yeah, I changed all the black ones to 15 ouncers. Yeah, you might as well. I mean, and I kept the price around the same, so there's no more profit for me, but you guys will get an additional 4 ounces here. Yeah.
4 more
I mean,
ounces for me.
no more fooling around with 11 ouncer when you can get 15. Come on now.
A big gulp. The big gulp.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to have to be running back to the kitchen for the second cup when you can just have one large one,
That's
So,
absolutely true. Okay, hold on a second. We got another one. I just got to
what
go
else
get.
did you get? Yeah, holiday season's coming around the corner, people. Time to get your gifts and stock up for winter. Did Robert just go? Yes, he did. His internet went down. So, oh, is he back?
Am I back? Can you see
Yeah, I
me now?
think I can hear you, but I don't see you yet. But
Okay,
there you
well,
are.
I got a big box. Guess what's in the
Ooh.
box now?
I don't know. I'm so
Oh
excited.
boy.
Robert.
Don't you just love unboxings?
It's like Christmas. Yeah, I love presents.
You two people could have your own Christmas. Remember, we
Yep.
got holiday stuff coming up. You got shirts and mugs, and
Yeah.
you can give them to your family.
And I was talking to somebody the other day. They're like, "Oh, why don't you sell this and whatever?" And I'm like, "Well, you know, not everybody wants that, but everybody needs clothes. You know, we all buy it. We have to wear it, you know, otherwise we get arrested. And so, you know, why go to Walmart and Amazon and, you know, feed all those rich guys when you can buy, you know, from some local streamer here? You know what I mean? Support your local
boy, look
favorite
what
YouTuber.
I got a
Yeah.
shirt. And I got a
Ooh,
hoodie sweatshirt. Like that. Look
nice.
at that. A hoodie sweatshirt in there.
Well, that's gonna keep you warm.
Yeah, let's take it out of the bag because I'm gonna wear it anyway.
Just rip it. There's no
There we
nice way of doing it. Just rip that shit.
Yeah, there you go. Look at the hoodie and the hoodie.
Unless you're planning on giving that away, then you might want to keep the thing on. But
this is me. I'm taking this one. But anyway, like I was telling everybody, if you want, you can get David Null one. He needs these things. You know, he's on a budgeted income. If you want, get him one. I'll send you his address if you want, and you can send it right to his house. There you go. Look at that.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you order it and then just ship it straight to him, it would be a lot cheaper than to ship it to your house, and then you have to then pay shipping again, you know? So, yeah, nice. That looks nice.
Yeah, so look at that.
Yeah.
It'll look good on me. I got the black one because it doesn't get so dirty so fast.
You can't go wrong with black. It goes with everything. Yes, and it hides stains and makes you look better.
I got a shirt here. Ooh, let's open this up.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I got a kangaroo pouch. You can put your hands in there. And yeah.
I got a long sleeve one because it's cold here more days than it is warm. So I
gotta say, the long sleeve is not really hot. And so that's the reason why I chose that long sleeve, is because it's like a t-shirt, but it's got sleeves. Yeah. So you're not going to get overheated, because I know a lot of women at my age, we just get too hot. And so this is perfect.
All that menopause, you guys. You girls got that menopause going on.
Well, you know, we got all these things going on.
Oh my goodness.
So it's perfect, and it looks stylish. You know what I mean? It's nice and long in the sleeves, and it looks good, and it's comfortable. It's 100% cotton, and so all the things in there I have chosen because I have worn them. You know, bought them and worn them myself. And same with the hoodie. It's good quality. It's got the heavy blend. That one is definitely for the winter. You know what I mean? It's nice and warm.
Yep.
And you know, or chilly summer nights. You know, depending on where you live.
I'm gonna wear it. Yeah. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I got this. This is a sweatshirt. This is my sweatshirt with the Milky Way Soul Tribe, and you have other Milky Way Soul Tribe shirts now, so go get yours before they're discontinued, and we'll have.
Well, we have the holiday right now. Yeah, so I basically got the official merch store for myself, Robert and Wayne. So if you want to support any of these channels, just go in there. There'll be something in there for your liking, I'm sure. And yeah, so right now we got the holiday, and it is for all 3 channels. So it does have all 3 names on it there. I'll show off the mug tomorrow, I guess, on my show. I'll show off the holiday mug, because I got one. And yeah, I'm liking the bigger size. You know, why go with 11 ouncer when you can get a 15? I mean, you know, so
good size.
Yeah.
I like this. I got the smaller ones, but this is much better.
Yeah, I got a bunch of the smaller ones too, but now that I know, I'm like, yeah, no. I mean, you can get some of the smaller ones in the Alta Corona if you want. There's more selection in the Alta Corona, obviously, because I've had it out longer. But the holiday merch will be gone in January. Obviously, it'll be out of the store, so it is, you know, a collector's item, if you will. Last year we had one that won't be coming back. Now we got this one, and that won't be coming back. It'll be something new again next year. So
I got to admit, Nina, you make really good designs. Now, you know, you designed this. It wasn't like you just plugged it in and they said, "Oh, here's what we're going to do for you." You made this design up. I appreciate that, and you're a good designer. You know, I got to hand it to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like doing it. It's fun. I like creating. So
and like you said, those designs go away, and you'll design all new ones for next year.
That's right.
And it'll all be good. So, you know, thank you much for that. And like, you know, I tell everybody, you got to go out and get yours, you know, support the show, you know, wear the shirts for us. help Nina with a little jingle in her pocket so she can survive, and we'll all be doing better because people will see that and say, I don't know how many times I've wore my shirt out. And somebody says, hey, look, you got your picture on your shirt, and and then or I say, I got a YouTube channel, and they say, oh yeah, and then I point to my shirt and I says, yeah, see, I got a YouTube channel, and they're like, oh, hey, and they pick up their phone and they said, let me subscribe, and I give them the name, and I've picked up a good half dozen subscribers just by wearing my shirt.
Well, that's just it. Same with Wayne. I know he bought a few of them, and I know he wears them in private. Maybe not as much on the show, but I know he wears them. And, people ask, oh, what is this? Be kind to your mind. What is this all about? You know what I mean? And then you can direct them to the channel. Exactly. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Is, supporting the channels, because I know you go and buy clothes. Now, why go and support Walmarts and all these, you know what I mean? Like, so if you want to stick it to the man, get your clothing from our merch store and wear it proudly. And, and it's one of a kind item that you're not going to find anywhere else.
That's right. That's right. So, like you said, how many of you people out there go around naked because you can't buy a shirt? You're all wearing clothes right now. I guarantee it. Maybe Scotty doesn't have pants on, but hey, he's wearing a shirt, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And with that, I don't see Scotty here tonight. I wish he was. But anyhow, that would have been a good one. He'd be laughing. Yeah, I think go over and do some training with your mind on Max Vision. I'm sure he's got a show tonight, so go over to there and do a little remote viewing. Nina, you got a show tomorrow with us. What are we talking about? Why don't you tell us?
Yeah, we're gonna get into 3i Atlas.
That's right.
And I know some of you are, we're getting sick of hearing about that. I know. And so trust me, we're going to bring a different spin to the whole thing than what you're normally hearing when it comes to the 3i Atlas. And so, yeah, make sure you subscribe to my channel and tune in tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific. That'll be 9 Eastern. We go live. And so I hope to see you guys in the live chat.
Yeah. And then, because there's a lot of new information, too, that's going on with the 3i Atlas. I mean, gosh, it seems like every few weeks or, it's like you could do a whole new show because, this Kaku guy says this and that guy says that and this guy says that. And it's like, well, which guy's telling the truth? Or, is this the winged god that was supposed to come back and is this what they would consider the planet Nibiru? Who knows? We don't know. Those thousands of years ago, people forgot about that crap.
Yeah, or could it be something completely different? Because that's what I'm going to be talking about. It's going to be something completely different from all of that. So if you're getting tired of hearing about 3i Atlas, no worries. We're probably going to be talking about the stuff that you haven't heard before. And something to ponder on,
And the worst case scenario could just be a rock.
Yes. Well, I don't know about that because it's emitting light. No rock emits light as far as I know. But yeah, I mean, who knows? No, I got a whole different thing on it myself, but I will get into that tomorrow night. So
tomorrow night. Yeah. And then of course I got Native American Myths and Legends coming on Tuesday, and then we'll be back on Friday with our Wayne Steiger, and we will be a guest on his show.
Yeah, so it should be for sure this Friday. The reason why it didn't happen this Friday is because he was like, well, I'm not sure if he's going to be ready, right? So I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let's just reschedule it. So that, because I it takes me hours to get ready for a show, and this is 10 o'clock in the morning for me, and I'm not sitting there, getting, So anyway, so we just reschedule it just to make sure, and I'm pretty sure that whatever he had going on before is now over, and he'll be available for the Friday. So yeah, so next Friday, hey.
That's right. Can't wait for that one. It's gonna be fun. So anyway, tomorrow night, join us on Nina's channel. Nothing else, tune in, sit down with your nice mug, and if you don't have one, order one up so you can sit down with us and have a nice cup of tea or whatever beverage you like. It's winter is coming, and this is the time of year that you'll need a mug for sure. And if you got 20 of them in your on your shelf, give a bunch of them away and get one of these. Really overdoing it. But anyway, just be nice and kind to your neighbor. Hey, get one for you and your neighbor, and then sit down and have a cup of coffee with them, chat, and have a good time. It's all great, because the one most important thing you want to do is be that frequency you want to receive, everyone. Love you all. Peace, everybody.
Bye.